It's here. It's finally here. The long-awaited Pirate Legend update. And no, not the ability to buy pet outfits in the Emporium, nor the Thieves Haven runs, and lastly, definitely not the Dark Adventurer set. Rare have finally released a new Voyage for Pirate Legends. Whilst not the long-awaited return to the Shores of Gold, rumoured for 2021, it is a faction voyage in the vein of Vault, Lost Shipments and Ghost Ships. I'm just going to come right out and say it, this is the best voyage Rare has released, not only because it finally rewards players with a healthy amount of rep and gold, but it's actually fun to play, and the replayability factor is amazing. Those who are crazy enough to try the original Pirate Legend voyages will know how unrewarding, tedious and bland they were, especially when Pirate Legend was always marketed as the beginning of the game. Having a mix of all the factions was not engaging, nor was it a new experience, whereas now, Rare have taken all that you should expect from voyages and added the best elements of Tall Tales too, along with improving the replayability by making multiple stages to the quest. The voyage will start out the same each time, where you'll get a rousing speech from this lazy git who finally decided to get out of his chair, where he'll request you to retrieve the stones for the Veil of the Ancients, and we can't let Flameheart get a hold of them, otherwise he might ruin Ramsey's Alliance server. This is where the quest opens up and you'll be met with a variety of possible activities. The first and coolest one is the ship graveyards. These are clusters of shipwrecks that will require you to find a key to a captain's cabin to locate a Veil stone. Sounds like Lost Shipments, right? Well, remember how in Shrouded Spoils, Rare took old activities, expanded on them and added a new level of variety? Yeah, they've kinda done it again. This time you can properly search the ship interiors, moving around pieces of furniture, looking in cabinets or under tankards. This way it adds an actual layer of searching, not just finding the stuff floating around the ship like before. Oh, and to reward those who are actually thorough with this, there are Athena loot pieces to reward you. These are optional if you want to speedrun the voyage, but are worth picking up for the additional emissary rep. Oh, and would you look at that? All the ships are named and colour coded to make it a bit easier as to where you're going. Looks like this was the real cause of the nameplate glitch. Sad times. Lastly, these modules add an element of danger, as other players will know what you're doing, leading to the likelihood of PvP, so keep that in mind. The second possible activity is with Suds, everyone's favourite crazy Scottish uncle. You'll be tasked with meeting him at a new location on the map, where he'll offer us one of 3 treasure maps. The first one is zoomed in maps that will show a dig spot. It's what we're used to, just a little bit more difficult. The other 2 are more interesting. There'll be a picture map, where you'll have to figure out the location based on a snapshot of a prominent, or even then not so prominent location. These can be really difficult, and the one on Lone Cove we had was especially tricky. Finally, there's the lying maps, where players will have to explore an island and determine which painting is not on the island. If you're a nerd and know all the paintings, you might be able to nab the stone quickly, but if you end up in unfamiliar territory, expect to be there quite a while. The third quest type involves searching for Belle. She'll task you with using the Soul Flame to light beacons on ancient statues, and once done, you will have a combat encounter with some Reaper Phantoms, assisted by some Ancients too. For how interesting it is in terms of lore and presentation, we've done this sort of thing before. The only real difference is that we have AI powers to help us this time. The final leg of the quest will be taking the last stone from the Servant of the Flame. You'll be giving a location, and once you've arrived, the battle commences. 3 small forts and a larger fort will rise out of the sea, all protected by several Spanish ghost ships. The middle fort will even be protected by a spectral maelstrom generated by the energy from the smaller forts. Take out the smaller forts to make the large fort vulnerable, then destroy the emplacements there to secure victory for Athena's fortune. The last leg of the quest is always the forts, and the first 2 is a mixture of the Belle quest, Suds quest and Shipwreck Graveyards. Do you want to know the best part of this update? The fucking dosh that Ramsey gives out to you. This took us around an hour on our first playthrough, and we earned around 100,000 gold. Keep in mind, if you run Reapers, you'll get more because you will benefit from the emissary bonus for the non-Athena loot, so expect up to 150k. Not to mention, even with the longest modules, this took me 40 minutes solo, so would probably even shorter if you're in a galleon or brig. You might think that's quite low compared to a Fort of Fortune, which is true. But Fort of Fortunes are dependent on the world event cycle. They only guarantee you Athena 5 if you manage to kill most of the captains, and are a bit mundane at this point too. If you get every piece of Athena loot, you will get Emissary Grade 5, then you can claim your quest and lower your flag again to reliably chain Athena items. At this point, we're going to end up bankrupting the Pirate Lord. I really do love this voyage because Rare has put so much love into it. There's so many reasons to replay it, and the best part is this will mean PvP is going to be a bloodbath once again. Back to Legend of the Veil. Instead of being handed maps like other quests, you're issued a tall tale book, which will act as your guide. Not only is this a great way to keep track of the quest, each subsequent playthrough will teach you a bit of lore and contextualise the steps of the voyage. Be it intercepting the Servant of the Flames messages or getting Sud's crazy notes, this little bit of context makes the whole experience that much more immersive. For the most part too, Rare has shrouded spoils many old voyages and rolled them into one. The fort assaults take Season 6 poorly defended emplacements, makes them destructible and ramps up the defences with Spanish ghost ships. And there's a bloody Maelstrom too. Did I mention the Maelstrom? The Sud stuff adds 2 new map types, bringing in the quality of the puzzle solving from Tall Tales too. Shipwreck graveyards, as I mentioned before, actually bring up the exploration of shipwrecks to what I expected, with named ships too. The overarching point is, this is the standard that all voyages will be held up to now and should have always been at this level of cinematic grandeur for Pirate Legends. And veterans will finally get to see the progression bar go up for their dopamine hit, as the new level cap is 30 for Athena's Fortune. For your hard work, you'll get access to the legendary Fortune weapons and Ancient set, which includes the weapons, ship set and costume. I know some have said this looks like Emporium stuff that has been moved into the regular shops, and I kind of agree, even if I really do like this stuff. As for the Legend of the Veil itself, you can earn the Servant of the Flame cutlass and hat and the Pirate Lord's peg leg. It is a little bit disappointing that we don't get a full new set, and the unique items look like they were cut from a season pass, despite their lovely designs. This is my only real criticism of the update though. The most overlooked aspect of the Legend of the Veil is the PvP potential. If you'll want to shy away from PvP, temper your expectations now, because the massive f**k-off tornado will be letting people know that you're doing this voyage, so expect Athena's Fortune enthusiasts and Reapers to attack you. In my opinion, this is going to be great for the health of the game and will create some awesome moments to share between friends. And some not so good ones for those who complain about PvP. I'm just forewarning you. As someone who mainly leveled up Athena through Fort of Fortune, this is the new way to print gold and get a good amount of rep too. This is my favourite addition to the game since Ships of Fortune, and I have to commend Rare for the best piece of seasonal content so far. Yeah, even better than A Pirate's Life. I can see this being a good source of longevity for the seasons to come. All in all, The Legend of the Veil marks the premier Sea of Thieves Voyage experience, even if it is 4 years late. Hats off to you, Rare. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe, as we've got so much more content to come, along with a recap of the Shrouded Deep and Legend of the Veil lore this weekend. Thanks again for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.